Alright guys, welcome back to 365 Prep. We're going to give you a behind the scenes look of how we get ready for elk season year round. Today's fun, we're going to be testing broadhead flight. Now, a lot of us have been stuck shooting field points. Hopefully you have an archery range nearby or in your backyard, or heck, if maybe you got a basement where you can get 10 yards, great. So what we're looking at doing today is we're going to go ahead and test field point versus broadhead. And I'm excited. Basically these arrows are at 440 grains total weight top to bottom, and that's exciting for me. Now each arrow is an Axis 5mm. I like FMJs, but with the Matthews, I think it just wants to spit these a little faster. So that's what I've been feeding the bow. So we have a Micro Hades 3-blade from Grim Reaper, 100 grain. I got 75 grains of brass up front. My arrows are cut short as possible. I have a helical to the left. It's pretty aggressive, as you can see. I have Max Stealth bangs. These are 2.6 inches, and we will weigh these for you guys to show that they are very consistent when they come out of the packaging. And then I have a nocturnal right here. Can't use lighted nocks in Idaho, so we'll be testing with regular nocks that come standard with the Axis as well. But in Washington for turkey, we can use lighted nocks, so that's what we're going to do today. And that's the season that's coming up the closest. And so we're going to first shoot a broadhead, and then we'll shoot a field point, and we'll start tinkering. And we're going to have Tim do the same. Now, a couple things. I noticed that my tight spot quiver, this is the 7. They came out with the 7 arrow. I don't need 7 arrows. I'm a 5 arrow guy. But I put the 7 arrow on, and I noticed that it was definitely tough to quiet this thing down. I don't know if it was just me, but then my buddy Colton came over and we were shooting, and I said, "What is, your bow is making some noise?" And he's shooting a Matthews Verdicts, and he said, "Oh, well, I got this new I got this new tight spot 7 arrow," and we went through it, and his was also making noise. So it must be something we're doing wrong. So what I've done since then, took this, set it aside, and threw my old 5 one on. So there's not 5 arrows in here yet. But let me get that there. Not nearly as much. It was way worse with the 7. So I think that's gonna work. I usually shoot with a full loaded quiver when I'm practicing. Some videos I don't have them on there, that's fine. But yeah, I generally recommend shooting with arrows in your quiver. People have always asked, like, well, what is the deal with your sidebar, or how much wood are you running? This is definitely your 12 inches up front here with a 1 ounce weight. We have 10 back here. I have an extra 4 ounces added. I like a little more weight. This is that Shrewd V-bar from Matthews, and I have it angled just so. People want to know the angle, so I have it set on a 4, and I have it set on a 4. So whatever that means. People were asking, that means 4 and 4. So whatever. That's what feels the best, and I have tinkered and tinkered and tinkered with this until I kind of found the setup. Also, side plates, highly recommend them for the Matthews. Engage grips, great, but this is better. This is from Rattler Grips, and I just ordered a custom ElkShape one. I like the feel of that. I am waiting for a VXR 28. Matthews is shut down right now, so everything's going to be backed up. So I might not get that 28 for quite a while. I do think the 28 will probably be a great shooter for me, and I want to be able to compare both and decide which one to use this year. So, but as of now, it's right hand 31.5 VXR. That's the setup. Now let's go weigh arrows for you guys. Weigh some vanes real quick, and then we'll run upstairs and I'll shoot some field point broadheads, and we'll see if we have to do any tuning. Okay, so get a lot of questions on stabilizer. Let me just preface everything with, I'm pretty self-taught on a lot of stuff. As far as I understand it, the sidebars and all this kind of stuff is personal preference. But because I run a 5 arrow quiver on my right side and I don't take it off when elk hunting, I wanted to counterbalance this. So I needed to figure out what held the bow the steadiest. Initially, I started with just a 12-inch. This is from Matthews stabilizer with, I had 3 or 4 ounces on here, and then I had This is a 10-inch stabilizer. This is a Shrewd V-bar attachment, and the numbers show on both sides kind of so you can kind of mark with a silver Sharpie where it's supposed to be, because these could get moved or bumped. So I have it on a 4, and on the back side I have it on a 4, but that's 10 inches. And I have 4 additional ounces back there. It didn't start out that way. So I kept shooting and shooting. If I was hitting low, I need my bow to go up higher. And so a lot of times you'll put more weight on the back. If you're hitting high, you need to put more weight up front. And so holding the bow steady as possible is the most important part, and then you can kind of tinker with your weights based on how you're holding, and that's just my narrative on how to do this. But what ended up happening was I needed, in my opinion, more weight on the back, so I ended up adding more and more, and I finally am at 4 ounces additional on a 10-inch bar in the back at a 4 and a 4 angle, and I have just 1 up front, and I seems to be holding right where I want it with the quiver, the way that I have it, the way I hold the bow, and it's all personal preference. But yeah, this is how it's gonna be when I'm hunting, and it's gonna be awesome. One thing to note about hunting with the VXR, see if I have it, yes. I think this is gonna be a game changer, because I know a lot of guys buy really fancy slings for their bow, and they don't come off very fast, and in the heat of the moment, you might need to get that off real quick. But I can literally just, with the Silent Connect system, and I can kind of hold on to my bow as I'm hiking. I can shoot with this on if I wanted to, which I have tested, but this is really pretty ingenious, and it's just 2 little plates that you screw on, and you just have a way to carry your bow, you know, instead of in your hand all the time. You can go and throw it over your shoulder, you can shoot with it on, you can take it off super fast. I think that's important. That's where we're at, so let's go weigh some arrows real quick, and then we'll go outside and we'll shoot some groups for you guys. 468, 471, 468, 468.
Is that the difference between your broadhead and your field point?
Yeah, 3 grains.
I'm really curious what these are. Oh, they're only 503. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Pretty damn consistent.
Booyah.
So what was that, 14?
Yeah, significant. All right, guys, we are shooting in the snow. This is messing up my shed hunting that's gonna be happening in Idaho. I know my sheds are getting covered up right now, but getting ready for turkey, getting ready for bear. I'm gonna shoot a field point and then a broadhead, and actually that's a lie. I'm gonna shoot a broadhead first and then a field point, because if you do it the other way, you're gonna crush arrows. So this is the first broadhead shot out of the VXR. Now, I did kill a turkey with this in the fall in Washington, so I have killed something with this VXR, and it was an awesome little spot and stock deal. I got a little bit of footage of that I'll show you guys, and here we go in the snow. A little hot. Field point. You know, I think I'm a little hot. This isn't quite 30 and I'm set at 30. We're at like 27, so, but it's fine. As long as they're close. Pretty close. Okay, I will turn this on, and the GoPro is going to go get those arrows. Check it out. GoPro is going to go get those arrows. Check it out. What I'm going to do is slide it up a little bit and see if we can hit both in the bullseye. Let's go. Snowing! I thought we were spring. This is spring in the Northwest. Point. Yep. All right, let's go check it out. Big flakes. I need a photo of this. Yeah, you gonna come check these out or? All right guys, so we just shot 2 groups, fill point, broadhead. It's looking pretty good. This is at, I think it was 29 or 28 yards off the deck. Oh, that ain't coming up. Take a photo in this? Yes. Okay. It's too good not to. Okay. One or two, and just hope. I hope that they're close. How far are we? 72. Did you get that?
Yeah, we got that.
So here's what I've decided is I'm going to continue to hunt with this. I do like my Scott XT and all my other releases, but shot a turkey, shot a whitetail with it in November with the VXR. This is where we're at today. So that was what, 72 we said. Shot a broadhead first, then the fill point. Don't do it the other way because you can see that screws up. Fill point was a little out, but it is kind of windy. And broadhead was money. Wouldn't want to be a bear or a turkey coming up. I like these grims. These are chiseled, sharp, sharp, sharp. And this is my practice broadhead. I will use brand new broadheads when I'm hunting, and I keep extra broadheads screwed on so I can always practice. But I'm a firm believer in shooting brand new broadheads into animals, and I'm so stoked. The sun came out, we shot in the snow, now we're shooting in the sun. 365 prep. Your guys' homework after watching this video is weigh your arrows, weigh your veins separately and together, weigh your nock, weigh your whole setup, spin your broadheads, do a couple spin tests, put them in a slider, watch how they're flying, and then go compare a broadhead and a fill point. Do it in April. I do it every year. I'm always shooting broadheads by April, and then we'll go back to fill points in the summer, and then we'll come back to broadheads late summer when it's time to start antelope hunting. And Tim and I got a little bear hunt here in Washington we're gonna do this August. I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully it's a 3 bear year. I've done it before. I'd like to do it again. We'll catch you guys on the next one.